Failure brings pain. The larger the failure, the more the pain. Most companies' first reaction when something goes wrong is not to learn, but to blame. Find out who messed up, how bad they messed up, and then discipline them. To send a message that we don't want this to happen again. Well, this culture, this attitude, this way of approaching failure actually does little to nothing to keep it from happening again. Why? Well, because we learn the wrong lesson. It teaches the organization to avoid, ignore, even hide problems, if at all possible. Actually, the ripple effect of management's reaction to the failure often outweighs the pain of the failure itself. What people do as a result is live with the pain of failure and do their best to not tell you about it. It's the exact opposite of what you want. It's still happening, but you don't know it. I remember a time where a pipeline group had 3 recordable injuries within a couple weeks. Management had a stand down for the entire company. Every employee was called in to a safety meeting, sit down in a conference room. They're issued a brand new pair of gloves, and for over an hour, they heard the message loud and clear. Under no circumstances are there to be any more recordable injuries. The edict went out and it was crystal clear. Well, a few days later, there were a group of guys rearranging parts and pieces in a boneyard out in the field, flanges, valves, pumps, fittings, things like that. Well, there they were. 2 guys on the ground, 1 guy in a backhoe, loading and arranging parts, moving pallets around. When a field supervisor pulled up, got out of his truck, and decided to help. He was known for doing things like this. Of course, he had no PPE at all. No gloves, no hard hat, no work boots. In fact, he was wearing loafers, which he was also known for. Well, he went to load a blind flange into the backhoe bucket. He stood on the ground next to the loading dock where the blind was and tried to roll it into the bucket of the backhoe. Unfortunately, it spun and it fell between the dock and the backhoe bucket, and it landed on his foot. This was a big piece of steel, a 10-inch, 900-pound blind flange. They're really thick. They're really heavy. You can imagine. There he was in severe pain. Everyone immediately remembered the edict. No more recordable injuries. He wasted no time. He hopped on 1 leg like a drunk kangaroo over to the truck. He got in and left. The next day came, no news. Nothing happened. There was no recordable. In fact, there was no incident. Of course, he limped around for well over a month. This event is a great example of what I'm talking about. What people do to avoid and hide failure. People will do almost anything to avoid the pain of being the example. That supervisor knew he would most likely lose his job if he reported that incident, and so did the others. Therefore, no one reported the incident, and management got exactly what they wanted. No more recordable injuries reported. Wait, is that what they wanted? No, they wanted no more injuries. But the methods they used resulted in people hiding injuries, in alienating the workforce. This brought a greater disconnect between the field and management, and worst of all, no one learned from any of it. Failure certainly brings pain, but we must learn from it. This is true for all levels of an organization. Look at the example I shared. Everyone involved there played a part in that fiasco. The pain of failure is there for a reason. It's to help us learn. It's to help us improve. That should be the goal, right? Doesn't everyone want to improve their business? They want a better work environment, a safer job site. It's fundamental. We have to look at failure differently. It's important. It's critical to us sustaining our businesses that we embrace failure and learn from things that go wrong.
Thank you for listening to the Failsafe Moment. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share in the comments. Have a great day.